What's up, everybody? It's Big Brian here from SLCAudio. Today we're going to talk to you about another fun creation from the DigiTech family. This one's called the Ventura Vibe. Alright, so this pedal, it's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing with this one. You guys are going to have fun with it too. This is Ventura Vibe, basically vibrato. And this replicates some old effects and adds some new standards to effects that you've never heard before. So let's take a look at the functions on it and let's listen to what it sounds like. So let's start off. The top switch here gives you a toggle between vintage, modern, and rotary. Vintage is going to kind of sound like an old Leslie speaker on an organ. Modern has its own little flavor, and rotary is again like a more modern twist on the rotary speaker as well. Okay, so your first control on here is speed. Speed, how fast is this thing going to modulate? So if it's going to modulate fast, if it's going to modulate slow, that's going to be up to you. You change those controls. The second control on this, right down here, is mix. How much am I going to get out of each time that I play this? Do I want to go with a completely dry sound? Do I want to go 50-50 or do I want to go fully wet? So if you're new to audio engineering and you hear the term wet, basically what we mean is how much saturation are you putting into the pedal? Are you going with full effect, and that's what we call wet, or are you going dry, which means no effect? So the saturation, how much we're putting into that, is the wet mixture. Our next control up here is depth, and this is how quickly it modulates. It's based off of a frequency. If it modulates faster, you're off of faster frequency. Now this last control down here is actually two controls. The smaller control on here is drive, and the outside bigger control is tone. So how much tone and drive do you want to give this thing? Alright, you're going to hear it in just a second, but there's also some other features on this. So let's play around for a minute, let you hear it, and then I'll show you the advanced features on this in just a second, okay? Alright, let's go with the vintage tone on the Ventura Vibe. Let's give it the same settings on modern. Alright, the last one, let's go with rotary. Alright. Now we've heard the different settings on this, let's go through the controls and play with those and show you what those do. Let's start with speed. I'm going to go back to vintage and let's talk about speed. Turn it all the way off. Very slow modulation. As I increase the speed. Alright. Play with the mix, wet to dry. So this is dry, meaning original guitar. This is wet, which means it's fully the effect. If I go 50%, you still hear the original note plus the modulation in there. That's why we have these controls on this. Alright, depth. How fast is that, and how deep into the modulation are we gonna go? You hear as I turn the modulation out, it doesn't go as deep into the tone. But if I turn it up, it's fully into the tone. Alright. Now, let's go with the tone over here. Tone is on the outside, the bigger control here. This is tone all the way off. And as I turn it up, it's going to get brighter, a little bit more distorted sounding. Off. Back on. Last one is drive. So if I had that distortion hitting a little bit, and I turn this off versus turning it on, kind of like adding a slight distortion onto what you're doing with the tone. Alright, let's come up with a pretty funky setting and play that riff again. Okay. Now I told you guys that we're going to do something. I'm going to show you there's some other advanced features on this. So this button right here becomes, if you hold it down for 3 seconds, it turns green, goes back to red. Off, hold it down for 3 seconds, turns green. I'm going to show you what that does. Alright, so we're going to go. You hear it rotating at double speed. Kind of a fun little effect that they threw on there, that if you play around with the pedal for a little bit and learn it, now you have it. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this video. I hope that you guys go out and check out the Ventura Vibe. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with this pedal. I want to say thanks to DigiTech, Nakpak Films for putting this together. Make sure you guys subscribe. This is Big Brian. We'll see you next time.